Okay, I am finally live. So, thank you everyone for joining me today for the No Man's Sky Wonders weekly show in PSVR2. So, hopefully this week we will not have any technical issues. I have upgraded a lot my streaming setup to ensure I give you guys some nice and interesting experience. I have been really preparing hard to ensure that there is no interruptions, avoiding using the PS5 native integration. So I really hope that finally I have this under control. So if you're joining me for the first time, I really would like to thank you for joining. If you're watching me live right now, or if you are joining via or watching later on via YouTube, again, thank you for joining. So this weekly show that I'm trying to do and set up is all about No Man's Sky. So I'm trying to spend like 30 minutes just exploring and showing some impressions about No Man's Sky in PSVR2, and then after that we try to have a guest from the No Man's Sky community where we can discuss about some of the interesting stuff they have seen or done inside the game. So today we'll have a special guest. As you see from the titles, we'll have Chris from the Canadian Empire Civilization. We're gonna walk and through his new amazing build, which is gonna be in the second half of this. So this is the last version of No Man's Sky. Last week we had some problems with Neruzi's stream because there was some bugs, and pretty much what happened is that the last update, the 4.14 update, has actually made the game settings on the flat screen, let's say, moving to the VR. And because of that, I had terrible frame rates, but we were able to fix this. We found a workaround, and Hello Games now have just patched it. So this was really good thing from Hello Games as always. And I have actually got tons of feedback from a lot of my friends who I watched this stream and the previous streams. So I have done some change for the settings, and hopefully you'll find some improvements about my streaming for today. So without further ado, let's start. As you can see, I'm now my fighter. There is not too much update in the resolution in the last few batches. All the updates regarding VR have been, mainly to fix some bugs. I still find the game amazing and wonderful. Looking out of my fighter, HD resolutions, using the next generation version, I'm still amazed with how beautiful this looks like. This is a trio star systems. It's really wonderful to look at. So let's start. So I'm not sure which system I'm in. I mean, I've been traveling a little bit, so I'm gonna go and check if we have some interesting planets to look at. I will try to ensure that I watch my head movement to avoid giving people, bad feeling when they are watching this stream. We're gonna go open, I'm gonna just check, use my fighter and check, the system here. So let's see. Okay, the breach system, freezing system, and platinum enemy. Okay, I always wanted to see a big worm. So let me see if we can go here to this Cal Slove Delta. But this anomaly system is also very interesting one. I actually took some shots and posted them on Twitter about this anomaly system, and it's amazing. I still love to let this, thing go through my head in VR. It's really interesting to do. Let's go and take a look there. Okay. So I usually go very fast when I'm playing in VR, but just to ensure that if you're watching this later on, you are not throwing up. So I'm trying to ensure my head movement is to minimum. Okay, so I'm gonna use my living ship, and because I disabled the HUD based on some of my friends' suggestions to ensure I give you guys nice smooth view. There is no any more highlight. You see, when I'm doing like this, I can't highlight, but I still know that it's in here because my hands are opened. I have spoke before about how wonderful the living ships look in VR, and on PSVR2, it's even more wonderful. So I went from under the ship, and let's go. Oh, okay. Not too much headset trembling, to be honest, but going to space is still wonderful. I really like it. The takeoff is still amazing. Minimum headset vibration, but there is vibration in the control. I'm gonna see if I can use my duck and go from here. Oops, no, I can't. It's actually just visualization. Okay, so let's see which planet is this one. Oh, this is fighter. I would love watching fighter in VR, but let's see which system is that. Picking off headset trembling is amazing. Let's see. I think this is the anomaly planet. This is a name, but I still enjoy the atmospheric entry. Atmospheric entry is still amazing. To be honest, it's one of the best things that happens in VR. So which planet is this? I'm not sure which planet is this. Again. Slowly. When you are inside the cockpit in VR, you feel you are actually flying your spaceship. You see all these level of details, all the screens, and you actually hold the controllers. Now, a lot of people complain about the controllers if they just started playing No Man's Sky. For the first time, they are not used to the controllers. But upgrading from the Move controllers to the PSVR Pulse controllers is amazing. And I see, oh my god, this is the first time I have seen this, what do we call these things? They are not asteroid, but these, anomaly shapes. They are massive. Oops! Yeah, I'm completely out of practice. But, I see this, I haven't seen this jellyfish in so long. Let's see if I can get it a bit close. Oh my god. They are beautiful and breathtaking. Let me see if I can get it a bit close to them. Oh, I can get close to them. Can I go inside them? Oh, no. I hurted them. But they are beautiful. This view that you guys see here, very, very, very nice. Look to the scale of this, and again, people keep complaining that there is no much difference between the PSVR2 and the PSVR1, but on PSVR1, we have never seen this scale. Probably because we're playing the old version, which is the PSVR4 version, but the level of scale, guys, if you ever dreamed to go to space and you don't have $1 million cash to spend on taking, 3 minutes ride to space, or you are not lucky and you are not an astronaut, you are lucky in the astronaut. If you are not an astronaut and you don't have $1 million, this game, No Man's Sky on PSVR2, is really your only chance to feel that you are in space. the massive scale of this. There is still popping here and there. This didn't happen before, but with the suns, 3 stars, asteroids, anomaly shapes, and they are beautiful. There is different kind of them. They are massive, really, really massive. Oh no, subspace scan in progress. I don't want to do that, so I'm gonna try to. Nope, that's the galaxy map. That's not what I wanted to do. I need to check which one. Oh, it's a fight? No, 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 no. I can't fight in here. Especially I can't fight with my with my living ship. I didn't even know what is hitting me here, and this scared me. Okay, let's see if I can fight a little bit with my living ship. My living ship is so bad at fighting. Okay. Oops, and I have max difficulty and I have my HDU setting disabled. It's better I make the run for it. My fighter. Oops, I cannot summon my fighter. Oh my god. That is no good at all. Summon my fighter now. Why? Can I summon the anomaly? Oops, I can summon that. Okay. So let me run to the anomaly then, because with my HDU disabled, I have no idea how much damage I'm taking, because the on-screen settings doesn't show me if I'm taking damage or no, and my settings are locked, correct, and this maximum difficulty. For some reason, I logged my settings, and now I regret it. Oh, the anomaly in PSVR2 is actually very cool. So this is something that I would like you guys to know. When I use PSVR1, going to the anomaly was always a risk. That 90% of the time, just going to the anomaly is gonna crash. But the anomaly in PSVR2 is beautiful and the effects are amazing. Okay, let's hope that this was enough to get the pirates or whoever was attacking me, away. And looks like when I have HDU disabled, I can't even target the planets, which is not good, to be honest. Yeah, even like this, I can see which planet is that. So I think this is the correct one. This is the one that I want to see. If I open discoveries, no, that's high energy and that's Vadur. Yeah. Let's just open the HG for settings for a second. Just see if I'm able to see the planet name. Yep. That's the one. So when you disable the HG setting, you can't even see the planet names. That's not cool. Okay. So oh my god. So this planet have a very strange geography, and it's an anomaly planet. It's black and white planet. This is where I spent most of my time taking such shots. It have this dry river around here, and I think I have featured one of these before. I have a lot of passion to this anomaly planets that was introduced with Origins update, the mega planets. They look extremely scary and lonely in VR because they are black and white only and stuff like this. But I think the caves here looked wonderful. So the caves had colors, and let's hope I'm able to find a cave. Massive. These big planets, the mega planets or whatever they are called, are very, very, big to look at in VR, and the whole thing looks like space. I mean, oh, I just saw this guy and it scared me for a second. So let's see if I can find. Oh, what happened to your leg, buddy? Oh my God, he just went directly inside, inside the stone and then went out. But he walks very strange. It's like his leg is broken or something. And this one looking to me right here, like he's staring directly to my eye. I think this is a predator. No, he's not. I always had a request from Joe to see if I can have some nice caves, and I know that caves are wonderful on this planet. So I'm gonna try to see if I can find a nice cave quickly. Take it from there. Now, where is the sun? The sun, for some reason, doesn't even rise on this planet. This planet gives a feeling that you are alone in space. It's black and white, it's mega, and a little bit scary, with lonely feelings surrounding you. The level of details is really good when you look closely on PSVR. There is still this less blur, which I'm sure Halo games are gonna match one day. But I see, effects coming out of it. I can actually get close and feel the stuff going through my eyes. It's completely different experience than playing at least on flat screen or on VR1. Okay, looks like unfortunately I cannot find any caves around here, so I'm gonna do something, because usually when I try to ride my bike, the Pilgrim, I always fall down in caves. Now, riding this stuff in VR is crazy experience, and I hope it will not make you guys feel a little bit dizzy. You see, inside this, you actually feel you are inside a bike. I hate riding. Oh, see? Oh, no, it's not a cave. It's just a hole in the ground. I'm sure there are some caves around here. I hate riding this stuff because I usually kill animals without meaning to. But I really don't like killing animals. But unfortunately, correct, we are humans. So we destroy stuff that we don't care about sometimes. Now let me see if I fall down somewhere around here. Usually for some reason, as soon as I ride my Pilgrim, I start finding a lot of holes and caves, and I get stuck in them. Let's give it a try. Looking outside my screen, the other side, it's a wonderful feeling. I plan to practice because I plan to join a couple of these races by the Civilization Hub with Scully one day. So I'm gonna try to practice, speeding. Where is my speed? My speed should be around here. I can't see it actually. Oh, and I find the cave. So that's what I'm talking about, correct? This is the best way to find the cave in No Man's Sky. And look at the pictures of these guys, the caves here, and the world are wonderful. And even the bike, the Pilgrim details are amazing. This is the first time actually I can see it from down here because it's stuck in this position. But you see, actually, they have done all this. You just need to upgrade the textures. And I really hope that one day, if I do like this, I can actually hear the metal clanging. But let's go inside the cave. Let's go. This is where I took my last picture on Twitter yesterday or 2 days ago, inside this cave. Let's hope it's the big one. There was some that are extremely big. I'm really looking forward to see if I can see it. You see all these structures coming down from the cave. It looks like stuff from, forest or something. It's very alien shaped because You have stones, which you always see, but you also have these, planets. And I didn't see these planets much before. So let's go a little bit deep. And there is stuff leaking, like, dropping, like ice dropping, but that's no ice for sure. I don't know what's leaking down here. But it's very natural, and unfortunately I don't hear the drops on my headset. Some games in PSVR2, if there is something hitting your head, you'll hear the headset vibrate gently. You can't. Oh, look how beautiful this is. Let's go a little bit more deep inside the cave. See if we can find something interesting. Yeah, this is not the big one. This one is pretty much empty. Let's rumble still when I jet, and I like it. Oh, there is some big stuff out there. Let's see. Yes, this is more like it. You actually move around here and you feel that. Can I put my head inside this? Beautiful. It's beautiful with the colors, with the dropping, with the effects. I came here before in flat screen. I didn't come here before in VR, and I took a couple of pictures. But in VR, I can actually feel and see this stuff moving around, dropping from up. You feel more the how do you say this dust storm, or how do you call this thing, fades or vapor around you. Everything you can feel and you can touch now. I still believe that the haptics can still be improved when it comes to feeling and touching stuff, because we just go through it like this. But look how big this cave is. Oh my god! I really need to to get more stronger heart or something, because this thing just popped out of nowhere, and now is my HDU disabled. Maybe I'm dying or something. Let's get rid of this thing before it kills us. Oh, look at this, because this is an anomaly planet. Even the effects are amazing. Let's see what will happen when color change. It's red, yellow, red. Wonderful. The Pulse headset, correct? Is amazing. Now there is no finger detection. Like I'm actually touching my sense controller, and my fingers are not changing. They're always like this. They don't do any change. But there is a capability. I think there is a big potential for a lot of improvements. But so far, I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. Now, I think I'm running out of time. I don't want to keep my friend Chris waiting. So this cave will look like a maze. I need to find a way to get out of here. But I don't want to, because it's so beautiful. So let's see. I have to change my my main to another multi-tool that have the manipulator. And let's get out of here. Sorry, cave. I have ruined your beauty. Yeah, we are almost out of time. So, okay. Okay. I think I'm just gonna go out now and head to our second half of the stream. Getting out of the cave and seeing this massive landscape is amazing. It's space, guys. It's space. Okay. So let me get my duck. And let's see the effects of the living ship in VR2. Nice. Again, one of the most interesting stuff is these mega planets. Next time I'll try to get a lush planet, because I think I've featured already a couple of these mega planets, but they are some of the best stuff to enjoy in VR, to be honest. Look around this. Let's see if I can bring in the photo mode the sun. This is the photo mode. And let me see if I bring the sun, what's gonna happen. Okay. Time of the day. It's always dark around here. Okay, so there is no much difference. Still black and white. Okay, so there is no much difference. But still look wonderful. Now the photo mode in VR is amazing because you have this free camera. But unless you bump up the resolution a little bit, it's still, taking picture on flat screen still better. But I can do this crazy hand movements, correct? And stuff like this. Okay, last thing, and then I'm gonna head to the second portion of the streaming, is that some of the folks asked me to check, if the free placement mode is available. Now I'm not at the base. What do you want, man? I didn't do anything here, bullies. Yeah, I think there's just no way to open free camera, but maybe I need to have a base computer. I'm gonna check this probably next stream. Okay, so that concludes the exploration. We didn't do any exploration, but that concludes the exploration phase. And now I'm just gonna go to my fighter and save, and then get out. Oh, taking off is still a wonderful feeling. I still enjoy taking off. I love it. Let me see if I can summon my fighter. And VR in the living shape, you actually feel these waves of of lights around you on both sides, and it's just beautiful. Okay, so let's land here and let's see if we can join my friend Chris on his new base. That's gonna be a wonder to behold. So I'm gonna save. I already saved. Now I'm gonna log out, join multiplayer. Let me see. I see everyone, but I can't see friends. So let me see if I can have Chris. Chris, did you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, bud. What's going on?
Perfect. Hey, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It's exciting.
Yeah,
I'm not traveling in VR like you, but I'm a little jealous over here, but it's okay.
Yeah. Actually, hopefully this is gonna be the first time I don't have audio problems, and hopefully people can finally hear my guest in the interview. So we are gonna, thank you for joining me today, and hopefully you can have some nice, pace touring and enjoy it from there.
Well, I hope so, because just as you're having tests, with your stream and audio things, this is also going to be a major test for us seeing this base today. So thank you because needed some testing done. So we're helping each other, and I love that.
Perfect. Okay, so have you hosted? Are you in?
I am at my base right now. So if you see me up on the multiplayer list, feel free to join whenever, and I am here.
Okay. Can't see you here yet. So let me see.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can see.
I could try a reload of my PlayStation, or sometimes I have to reload the game. I can try that.
Probably we need to. So I see Kim. Maybe Kim can join you and I join her, or hold this will crash everything.
Yeah. No, we could do that. That's totally fine. Kim's always my she's always the one to fix things for me. So if we have to get her in here, she can definitely be that middle person to get us going. But I'm going to close my game real quick because sometimes, even when her and I join each other and play, we kind of have to do that. Sometimes it's her, she has to do it. Sometimes I have to do it. So we'll see if it's me right now.
Okay. So, let's see. Usually cross platform joining can make trouble, but let's see. I think I still don't have you here. So that's
I have nobody actually on.
Yeah. I think we didn't finish adding each other as friends, which is we tried to do, but it didn't finish. Maybe try to add me one more time. And
Yeah, but I'm also not seeing Kim up on my list either.
I think she logged off.
Oh, she did. Okay.
Yeah. Have you added me?
Let me go check. Yeah, well, I sent you a friend request on PlayStation, so you should have gotten it.
Okay.
You'd have to accept that.
Okay. So I need to accept that then. I need to accept that. I need to accept that. I find this. I can't find it. So I can't find it. I just need to accept it. But I see Kim joined. Maybe she will join you, and then I will join you guys. She's gonna save us.
You're saying Kim is on right now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's on.
Yeah. Let me know when I can join you guys. So even so, I sorted most of the technical issue. I still have some few more hiccups. So to let you guys know, correct, streaming is something new to me. If you didn't know this already, then you for sure know it by now. And the streaming from VR is even harder because, you can't actually see anything. So if anything goes wrong, you are clueless what's went wrong. And interviewing in VR is even more hard because, usually when people are interviewing, they have a script prepared, but I'm in VR, I cannot see anything, and especially I can't see any papers or anything. So we'll have to see. Okay, so I'm gonna give this a try, and now let's see how it will go.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I am in Kim's session now, so you should be able to join. I'm just in one. I see you actually in our session, which is great. I'm just not in the base system, so I'm going to get there before I have you go to the anomaly to follow me.
Okay. Now this is going to be a 3 multiplayer session, and the base is massive, and Kim is on Xbox. Let's see how strong is Halo game multiplayer crossplay. This is going to look interesting.
This could be nuts. I'm going to, just for the streaming purposes, I'm going to ask her to hang back on the base visit just so we can try and have that. Because, again, this is kind of a test for me, too. And we'll get into the details of that as we're, going through the walkthrough. But, I did some interesting. I mean, I guess some people would think interesting. Some would just say crazy and stupid. But we did some things different with this build. So I'm going to try and give us the best functionality that we can have for this. And hopefully it'll run.
I think I see both bases there. It's a purple planet.
No, if you're in the same system as Kim, this is not the system.
Okay.
The planet would be called TOG.
Okay. So at least my game did not crash.
So I am going to go to... Oh, sorry, bud. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying at least my game did not crash. And this is the first time I go to an outlaw station in VR too. So... let me know when I come back. Oh, I actually supposed to go to the anomaly, not the VR, not the station. So let me come back. But let me just take a quick look to this outlaw station for a second until you are there. Wow, the outlaw station is an outlaw station. It has always been one of the most unique stations. I think I need to visit an outlaw system one day in these sessions. And do a little bit of fights. And they have a dedicated session about Outlaw. But for now, let me go to the anomaly and join you there.
Perfect. I'm actually moving to the system right now. And again, I know we were talking a little bit about this before stream. If for any reason I go to this system right now and the space doesn't load, there's a little trick I use to get everything to work. And again, we'll kind of get into the details of that's the case. But here, everything worked. So, yeah, let's get you to the anomaly and let's see if we can get you here. And let's see if this works.
Perfect. Okay. So far, my game is holding on, which is pretty amazing, to be honest. Maybe I should have swapped to my ship because living ships have a lot of visual effects, but let's see how. Okay. Are you in the system?
I'm here right now. I'm in the system. I'm at the base. I'm actually at the...
Okay. So I am coming.
Okay.
We interrupted him expedition or warping. I didn't warp before in the living ship. It's very beautiful to warp inside the living ship. So, Chris, let's just take a look first and see if everything's working fine. Then we start chatting a little bit, okay? Because, guys,
real quick, I'm getting apparently some feedback that my mic is getting a little robot-ish, which happens with these third-party apps with this headset.
I think it's good now. It's good now. I can hear you clear now.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I can hear you clear now. Advantage, correct?
Yeah. Advantage is the discoverer of the system.
And it's a
You're coming
flourishing
here during a
planet.
rainstorm right now, unfortunately. But
Chushi S9?
TOG, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
TOG S9, yep. And I'll be here on the landing pad when you get here.
Okay, I'm gonna warp. I'm gonna
I just have a question.
bounce.
Do you see how many base computers do you see as you approach the planet?
I'll let you know when I'm getting a little bit close. I have my... I can't see any bases yet.
Well, then if not, then we'd have to do the trick that I talked about earlier.
Warping back and forth? Okay.
Because you should see the icons on the planet if you're approaching the planet.
Okay. So let me I see the icons. To be honest, I see two icons. I see two small icons.
Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I see them. Two
Perfect.
small
That means
purple
it's working.
icons.
And it's working so far perfectly. I just hope
Yeah.
this rain clears up. That's okay.
So Chris, while I'm getting extremely slow in my living ship reaching the planet, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, who is Chris?
The man of mystery. I am so in real life, professional musician, drummer, specifically. Been very fortunate to, write music with some great people, perform, tour. I go on the road a lot. So yeah, music has essentially taken up most of my life. But outside all of that stuff, I'm obviously a huge gamer, of sorts. All of us are. I mean, we're all space geeks. We all kind of love sci-fi, fantasy, all of those things. So, I fall in line with all of that stuff. But yeah, that's essentially me, plus, 1,000 other parts. But yeah, that's basically me in a nutshell.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so some strange thing happened. So I don't see the bases. I was gonna warp, and my hands became big suddenly when I exit the galaxy map. So you are actually a professional music. So if people don't know about this, Chris do some of the best, music that you guys may hear. It's completely new. I actually subscribed to Spotify. They have their own Spotify band channels there. I'm gonna pin, the link to it, to this live stream after, after this, how do you say, this stream's over. I can't warp. Why I can't warp? Maybe I need to charge my warp, or no, I think it's fully charged. Let me open my inventory. So for some reason my hands grow a little bit big after I do this, but let me see, where is my pulse? Yeah, it's fully 100% charged. So I'm trying to warp and come again as advised, because this is one of the, how do you say, okay, I'm gonna warp now. Is it working? No, it's not. For some reason I cannot warp. Yeah, I can't warp. Let me see if I can warp here. I cannot warp. I'm pressing on R2 and I cannot warp. So why I cannot warp? Maybe I can just go back to the anomaly and come again through the anomaly.
I mean, that will probably send you back in the system, I'm sure, but you can give that a try.
I will go to maybe
I have a teleporter here also. You can maybe attempt to see if that pops up on the teleporter list
okay,
if you're in the system.
Okay, I'll give this a try. This is actually a very good idea. Okay, let's move slowly. And try to go up. I like the nexus here. Oops. Okay. Let's go to this big, empty, massive teleporter room and see if it's in here.
Well, hope it pops on the list. I mean, I feel like I always have an issue with trying to find somebody's base through a teleporter list, but we'll see what happens right now. Maybe you'll have better luck than me.
I see Boyan's. A base called Boyan's, but no, this is not the correct one. So let me see.
I think also now too, because we're kind of doing the soft launch of this, especially on the Discord. I'm gonna release this base at least. Show this base on Twitter tomorrow. But right now, you'll probably just see World in WIP, work in progress. I didn't change the official name yet.
Okay.
But you'll either see my name or I think the other base computer that I'm using is the actual name of the academy.
Okay. No, I don't think it's in here. It's not showing in here. I think this is because this came only, so it's not showing.
Oh, possible.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah. So let me just try to go directly to the planet and hopefully it will appear. Or maybe I'm gonna warp a little bit. But let's see if it's gonna appear or no. I really hope it will appear. People are so excited now. Let's see.
We're giving them, we're building that anticipation.
Yes. So now there will be no warp because this is the actual system you are in. So yep, there is no warp. Because we are already here. Oh, looking to the sky. Behind. I'm gonna try and go directly here.
Good news is we got the rain to stop, so you'll be coming into clear skies when you do come in.
Perfect. So I see you. Let's see if anything is gonna display for me. Wow.
I see you coming in.
This is one of the nicest water I have ever seen before.
Well, this planet was absolutely beautiful. I didn't discover it. It was by, advantage in the Contanian Empire. So, cash. And I guess he discovered this planet in the system about 2 years ago, but it was just absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, I see a base. One
All right,
base.
yeah,
I
let's
see the
see.
second base also.
Okay, all right. So things are happening.
Two
Do you
computers.
see? All right. Well, that works. I mean, once we get you to the planet, let's see. Do you see me on a landing? I have a landing pad here. Or
No,
should
I
have a
see you,
landing
but
pad.
I landed a little bit far to avoid having any kind of crashes. So
Okay. Fair enough.
I see the base computers, but I think it's still loading.
That's possible. It may.
I see right now 2 base computers, and let's see if it's gonna load, or maybe I need to reload quickly because I just see the base computers. It's
Well,
loading.
you're very.
It's loading.
I would try to come to me if you can.
Okay.
I wouldn't stay by the shore because you're going to have render issues out there.
Okay, I'm gonna. I think it's loading right now.
Yeah, but like I said, it won't fully load out there, even for me.
Some stuff is
And I
loading
base.
right now. Okay. It's loading slowly. Something impressive is showing up. Okay. Let's take a dive underwater. Wow.
Yeah, I figured if we're going to have any crashing issues, that's also kind of part of my test, I guess, because this is pretty experimental. And like I said,
Oh my God.
We'll kind of get into it.
I see it from underwater, Crescent. It looks wonderful. The
Thank
lights
you.
just
Thank you
appeared
so
for a minute. Okay, I'm coming to you, man. I'm coming up. Okay, actually, I need to raise my hands up to go up. This is something never happened before. So you are standing on something interesting. Oh, this is a shark down here.
Well, I guess that's a part of it. Do you not see this landing pad that I'm standing on?
Okay. Let me come up a little bit here. Okay. So the bases are loading. The base is loading, press. I can't see the landing map, but I see the base in front of me. And it already look wonderful. Wow. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about the base? I can see it clearly from here. I'm gonna wait a little bit to see if it's fully rendered for me, and this is the best view. And then maybe I'm gonna get a little bit closer. Wow, I see it. What is it? If I try to jump, can I stand? Nope, I can't stand. I can't stand on the landing bed.
All right, yeah, so that's not showing, which would be part of the second base. Because again, this is built with 2 base computers. I had,
Okay.
I do have two consoles, PlayStation 5. I play on Steam, and originally I had built this with 2 base computers, one being the structure and the other one being just the decorations, which.
Okay.
I've had somebody on Xbox Series S, not even an X, come here and test this out, and it's worked pretty well for them. So that doesn't mean it won't fully render in, but you might not be seeing the second base. We're gonna have to go to the main structure. We're gonna have to go into the main structure and see what's going on. There's usually a teleporter here on this landing pad that'll get you into the main structure. But if it's not showing for you, then we're going to have to swim out there.
I see the second base computer, but it's just not showing itself to me. So I think it's not going to be fair to just see one of them. And maybe I can just summon my ship and...
Another thing, too, is out there on the shore, you're giving yourself the worst position to see anything from the base out on that part of the land.
Really?
Yeah. The rendering is really hard out there, even for me. Like I said, and I have both bases visible. I know you may not be seeing the landing pad, but I'm still going to have you just come up to the building and test it. And if something doesn't work there, then it's back to the drawing board.
Okay. No. I think I maybe just need to warp out and in again.
You could try that. Yeah, that's definitely the main test. But it is confusing that you see both base computers. You're saying you see both base
Oh, the
computers. So
decorations are appearing right now. Some of them.
what do you see? You seeing lights, or I'll have to go off what you're seeing, because both base computers have a lot to them. So you might be seeing a lot, but it might only be one computer.
Okay. What I see right now is really wonderful and impressive.
Oh, I
And
appreciate that. Thank you so
it's
much.
very, very beautiful. If this is just one of the bases, I have no idea what the second base will even look like, correct?
Well,
So,
I'm hearing word that you're seeing all of it now, which is good.
yes!
Which is good. So instead of taking the main teleporter in, well, I don't know. Do you see a landing pad out there? I'm curious. Did that ever appear, or
No, I don't
still
see the landing
nothing?
bed, and I think
Okay.
if I will really manage to see the whole base, this is by itself
Well,
is big impressive thing.
let's see what's going on in here. We'll do the unconventional entrance, and I do have
Oh,
somebody who's kind of a guide, letting me know what you're seeing also.
wow! I
So so
can't
welcome,
speak.
welcome here. This is officially the Hildera Picardi Academy of Good Light. So it's named after two members of the Cantanian Empire. One who was a good friend of mine who just had a beautiful baby boy. This base was a dedication to her, kind of a present to her and the baby boy. It was just kind of like since we do a lot of themed activities in the group, this was just kind of like a little memento to usher in the youth of the next generation, just like a little school, a little institute to help them learn the ways of our fun little group. But that's essentially why I got into this base and why I started building it. And it was a challenge for me too. A lot of building techniques that I'm learning, they're all new to me. And every time I build a new base, I'm just trying to push at least my limits, which, are not always, there's always people out there that are just doing extraordinary work. But I'm really proud of this build. It took a long time. And, I think it came out great, which, I could always be my own worst enemy. So I'm really happy that it's loading for you right now, at least most of it sounds like, or seems like.
Man, I'm still getting this, wonderful, amazing feeling, and I think this is what the wonders come from. So when I stepped here, I felt I am actually Harry Potter, going to Hogwarts or something, because it has this, wizard style, especially these stairs, correct?
I do. I
Uh,
love that you said that, because that was just. There's a few inspirations to this build, but one of them was like kind of the Hogwarts, that
yeah.
cathedral, castle type of vibe, or just something that's been around for a few centuries. That's why I ended up using a lot of the stone pieces. I think you're still rendering a little slowly, which is okay. This is a big build. It might take some time. It might even take a few visits coming here. I don't know. Who really knows? But yeah, that was another inspiration for the build. Was I'm a huge Final Fantasy game fan. I'm sorry. So Final Fantasy VII was like one of my favorite games of all time. But this build specifically. Kind of took inspiration from Fantasy VIII. They have these schools in the game that are called gardens, and they're just like these huge, just big dome-like structures, that shoot off classrooms in all different directions through like the landscape. So that was a big inspiration for this build too.
That's wonderful. I can't even talk because seeing this stuff in VR, seeing the birds coming inside and going all the way, yeah, this is supposed not to happen, but it's just an overall magical feeling. It gives this, feeling that this is an actual, school or academy. And I really like these two statues. I know you mentioned about them briefly. If Heldra is watching, I hope she like her statue. And yeah, congratulations to her newborn. And I think this is something very noble from you, Chris, to really do this for your friends. I mean, looks like, your friends means a lot to you, man.
Oh, I love it. I've been in this group since the summer, and I've gotten really close with a lot of members. We not even just about the game within the game. We all talk about what we got going on in our personal lives, and it's been a really great time, and special people. So when you meet those people, yeah, you end up doing things for them and stuff like that. So it's been a lot of fun.
So by the group you mean the Catanian Empire?
What was that?
So
broke up there, but sorry about it.
So you mentioned the group of your friends mainly inside the game. So is that the Catanian Empire?
Yes, yeah, the Catanian Empire.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so it's an in-game faction, and they, kind of come before my time. In this game, I started playing 2 years ago. I believe this group's been around almost since the start of it. But the group was eventually recognized by the developers in the game. So, they've added decals and, all these little mementos to honor that, along with a few other facts. But, I think the thing that's been pretty amazing, at least from my perspective, is everybody that's in the group is, pretty phenomenal. Everyone is so interesting. They just come from such interesting backgrounds or, lead interesting lives, and just absolute kindest people on the planet. So it's really cool that everybody just kind of got together and, is building and being creative in groups. The Catanian Empire in itself, as we're all on Discord and we talk. There's a lot of writing factions that go on. So we have members who are creative writing, and just writing absolutely beautiful stuff. I mean, it's very in depth and detailed things. But then you have something like this building. Even in this build, and again, I don't know how much. I know you're still rendering things in. I don't know if everything's rendered, but depending on the decorations you see, I figured. And I'll get this to work eventually, because, like I said, I know Kim, who has been helping me with this, has gotten this to render fully without me there. So I know this will and can work. But depending on a lot of the decorations that you see, speaking of Kim, she helped me with a lot of what you see in here. So like a lot of the lights, a lot of the inside decorations, because she's just absolutely phenomenal with it. So, it's great even to be within that group and just creatively work, with groups or in groups or with other members. And that's just been really fun for me, because being a musician, a drummer, writing songs, it's cool to come here and kind of get that creative kick also. So it's been fun.
Thank you for sharing this, Chris. I just want to add a comment that actually now in VR, when you are going down the stairs, the headset actually slightly move, and they give you this effect that you're actually going on the stairs. It doesn't tremble, but it actually gives you this effect from the screen movement that I'm going down the stairs. And these stairs are very much detailed, and in VR you see the smallest level of details around you. Like, you actually feel this is something that have been there for years, and people actually went up and down these stairs. It looks like it's very, very, very nice thing to look at and feel it inside a sci-fi game, correct? So that's I think is a wonder by itself. And I forgot to ask you, you just mentioned that you've been playing No Man's Sky for 2 years. Is that correct?
Yeah, about 2 years now. Yeah, I'd say so.
And what what got you in the game so late, and why do you still play the games? Are you still playing it, regularly? So for sure,
Yeah,
the civilization, and I think, if you are watching this stream and you don't know anything about the civilizations in No Man's Sky, then you can just Google Wikipedia. There's a lot of civilizations. I will also try to, bring the lights on these different civilizations, because they are actually one of the core soul of this game. I actually believe that civilizations are part of how this game is beautiful and why it's a wonder by itself. And yes, for sure, the Catalan Empire, one of the biggest civilizations that I'm also, proud to be a member of. There is also the Index civilization that we have seen last time with Nirozi, doing huge amount of activities. So, in general, civilization are groups of people who do a lot of activities and, gather together to build, do events. Some of them are extremely advanced, like they have some serious ranking and currencies like the civilization hub and more. And I have all respect to every single, civilization that's in No Man's Sky. Even if you just have one person, it's still a civilization. But, as Catalan Empire is one of the best. So let's go back to Cress, correct? Cress, so about No Man's Sky, man, correct? Why? What got you in the game, and if you're still playing it regularly, and is there a story behind it? Why don't you share with us?
So the reason, and it is actually kind of funny. The reason I got into No Man's Sky was on this random list. You know how you get on those, late nights just browsing on your phone through the internet. It was on a list of games to play while smoking weed, which I don't advocate for anybody. It was on a game of top 10 games to play while high, and I thought that was hilarious. I was like, this is a funny list. So I was like, I'm going to download this game because I had kind of seen it before. I had seen a few images of this, our characters, avatars, walking on planets, and it just looked like an interesting game. So when I saw it on that list, I just, put two and two together. I was like, this is probably fun, probably a nice little cool chill game to sit in and play. And I remember the first time playing it, when you take that initial takeoff into space, I was blown away and hooked right after that and started kind of playing obsessively. I still play pretty regularly, but I want to say last year I was playing a lot. I'm not playing as much as last year, but still here, still love playing the expeditions when they come out. By the way, I'm just taking you to one of the classrooms I have here. This is the science lab. I don't know what's rendered for you, but this is the science classroom, which I'll post a bunch of pictures of this on Twitter tomorrow.
Some of the stuff is available. But man, this story is hilarious. So you are lucky, correct? You actually went through the game, and that's why we have this base right now.
Yes, so. Exactly. That's why we are friends. That's why this base is here. Is everything. So I'll take you back to the main room. So that's where I found it. Now this is actually one of the parts that I really upset about the base. I couldn't lock everything off from the sky because I think I'm about 3 pieces high. So weather's coming in. So if anybody does visit this base and you get caught in a storm and, maybe don't have the protection for it, you can just run off to the classrooms or this little hallway down here. But because the main structure, I did glitch building for it, and there is a very intense curve, I had to go more than 3 pieces up, and I think if you do that without blocking it off, it, will let weather in.
So this entrance take us to the hallways that will take the students to their classes. Interesting.
Yes. So there is, and I'm still trying to, we're doing a soft launch. I'm still trying to work some things out. The entrances that I have to the classrooms right now are in the main structures through teleporters. Originally, I did want the entrances to the classrooms to be in this hallway. I do have lockers in this hallway. I don't know if they've rendered for you. don't think they have, but there's a bunch of. So I think you're mainly having a problem with base B. It seems like that hasn't loaded fully yet, but that's okay. We can fix that. But let me take you through this doorway, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is originally how I wanted the entrances to the classroom, but you can see it's blocked off right now. There's just no way to get in there because of the way I had to enlarge the dome.
Okay.
So the one confusing thing right now is we'll go back to the main room, the main hall area.
I'm getting the school vibes now. I'm a little bit, I'm a little bit scared when I'm in school.
I wish more decorations. Yeah, I know, right? I wish more decorations were popping up because then I think you'd really be getting it. But I have these short-range teleporters here that are kind of lined up with the corresponding classroom, and you just, you come in here and it brings you right in.
Yeah. Me walking in the in the academy, and seeing the classrooms and some of the stuff that's being loaded, it's always giving me the impression that I am actually back to school. I had a lot of fun in my high school, correct, but there was always some little bit of stress being in high school.
Oh my gosh.
And I was afraid, the school director will just come from nowhere and just chase me away. What are you doing here between classes? Get back to school. Get back to class. Run, Chris, run for your life.
I know. I was always, I never like to say causing trouble because it was never too serious, but, school was always a very interesting time. I never wanted to be there, and that was always indicative of, me escaping to go play drums somewhere. But yeah, when I was building this, some of, again, I know some of the stuff is having a tough time loading for you, but some of the locker setups that I had just were, very reminiscent of my old high school when I was a kid.
Nice.
I'm going to do something for us while we still have, a few minutes to mess around here. I'm going to bring my Steam save in on this stream right now, and I'm going to see if it pushes any of the rendering through for you.
Okay.
If it joins our party.
But there is 1, 2, 3. There is many other classroom here. So you mentioned this is a science one, correct?
Yes.
What are the other classrooms?
We'll go over here. Now, I was just, so that was like basically, like we said, a science lab, kind of tech development area to show the kids how, they use different technologies and stuff like that. This one that I'm bringing us to right now is the building area. And I'm not sure what's lower you because it seems like you're having a problem with base B. And a lot of these decorations are through base B.
Look, the choice of location of the base always amazes me. The decisions by the base builders, but this one amazes me even more because every classroom have slightly different view. So here I see the ring planet. I think the other classroom I saw different planet, and actually seeing the storm outside, I see now we have these asteroids falling from the sky, and I think you have slightly. Is this the same teacher? No, it looks different. He looks shorter than the other teacher.
He's a little shorter. So the effect that I was trying to give with the teacher is kind of like that. It's like the same feeling in the Resident Evil movies where there's just this AI throughout the building, and no matter what you do, like if you go to a doorway, you talk to this AI. If you load up like the main computer, you talk to this AI. So I kind of had this idea that the AI would just be every teacher in the school. It would be every computer voice that you heard, everything on the loudspeaker. I just thought that was like kind of a very weird, trippy sci-fi.
It's cool. It's a cool
thing to add.
Yeah, I really liked it because it's giving different impressions for every science or every classroom. And the other guy was a little bit bigger, had slightly different effects. And when you're speaking about weed, I actually felt a little bit dizzy because I was getting inside his directly with my VR, and it's very close, similar to actually being high. Don't try these guys if you are watching the stream. Okay, so what else? What other rooms you have, Chris?
Real quick, what I'm going to try and do for us is I'm sending my Steam in right now. And while my Steam file is getting to us, I will bring you to another room. But first,
Okay.
I have to get my Steam file to a teleporter.
Okay.
Let's bring you here.
And I
Actually, we'll go to the other
I think
teleporter.
that there was fighters at some point, but I can't see them. These domes are very nice, and this planet have huge amount of stuff going on all the time. Imagine if you're actually a student that's actually studying in here. This would be, a trip, just such a trip to actually go and study in this class, correct? You see fighters some morning, you see birds around, you see storms, you see planets. Oh man, I wish they introduced more stuff in here, and we can actually have an actual schooling system, correct? We can get small kids
Yeah,
logging in our
exactly.
academy, and we train them about science fiction or something. We'll have
And
the student one, Haldra class. Maybe we'll get her to teach some to her baby inside here.
yeah, right. And I mean, I want to add maybe more classes too as time goes on, but we'll see. I'm obviously worried about the render issues because everything is so big.
Well,
So
good news is it
as
didn't
as I
crash and it's running extremely smooth for me. I think it's just, maybe if I was able to warp and come back, maybe things would have improved. But I believe, I will come after this and take some very, very nice photos. And this will allow me to share. I'm going to share them on Twitter, putting them on the channel. But for sure, we can have another session later. And when we figure a way to warp, I think, warp was where the problem is for me. So,
Well, I have my Steam account flying to the planet right now,
okay.
and I'm wondering if anything is going to just change with the load. And we'll give this one last try, and then we'll maybe wrap it up there. If nothing else loads.
Yeah. We can, but when I enter from here, correct, this door taking
Where
us
are
to
you?
this hallway, this is giving also another feeling. It really reminds me of, I think, Thor movie, when they will actually gonna go to this arena when there is a Hulk guy. So the arena used to be exactly circular, like this one, when they have
Ah,
the gladiators. And,
very interesting.
yeah, you actually enter from here, and they were fighting something like shooting stuff, correct? Can I shoot inside here? Well, I can't shoot inside here. And,
You
and
should
it
be
was
able
very,
to.
yeah, we should put a label saying, weapons not allowed. Pew, pew, pew. Alright? But, yeah. Oh my god. Actually, this is the first time anyone shoots at me. And it's a little bit nice. I mean, I think even so, I had like a World War session with Solari, who I always need to thank every time I'm playing or streaming because he really helped me a lot with having my stream setup. He didn't shoot at me at all, and shooting at me, maybe you can have a PvP, a stream one day when we actually try to do some Destiny 2 style, fighting or something. I'm surprised people don't do this much. Maybe
I
mechanics
knew
is
some
not good.
people in the Galactic Hub that would do it. I don't think it's their Star League, but I knew some people that were in the Galactic Hub that would do like a little
PvP?
PvP
Okay.
type of thing where they would actually base build arenas every week. Um,
Nice.
and yeah, it was really interesting. I had only watched it maybe once or twice, but it seemed fun, and I had plans to maybe join it and want to try and get involved, but you never get around to it. But it did seem like it could be rather fun, so that could be something cool to set up one day.
Nice. Okay. Perfect.
Um,
Where is your
all right, so
save? Steam
so
save.
no, my Steam is here at the landing pad. I'm gonna bring him into the base, but apparently I don't think you have much more loading in. So, that was potential. Ooh, hold on, I just fell through my landing pad. I'm so
Some
upset with the
stuff,
way short range teleporters
some
work.
stuff was loading for a minute. I think there's a little bit of glitching happening.
Yeah, it's possible. Oh yeah, even my guy just fell through the floor, which is interesting. It might take a really long time for this to fully load for you. But that was kind of the risk I took. I mean, they tell you not to build with 2 base computers. They tell you not to build bases this big. I mean, you are at a base right now, though, that is over 3,000 pieces. I don't know if everybody
Which
knows
is a
that. I don't know if
massive
you went into that.
achievement.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
maybe you are
that's,
the first one who done that. And
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I would be blown away if I was the first one to try it. But I mean, you are definitely standing in a base that is, over 3,000 pieces between the 2 computers. So that's something.
okay. So, is there any other classrooms that you want briefly to touch on?
Oh yeah, there was one more I wanted to show you. I'm sorry we didn't get there. Where is it now? You get so lost in here. Oh, it's over here on this end, this teleporter. Now
We have
this
already
room,
some. I love these birds. They are so cool.
yeah. Thank you. The birds are very cool. They get stuck in the building every now
Is
and
this
then.
the geology lab?
So this is like the fauna studies room. This is like kind of the history, and again kind of want to add some more things in here. But this teacher talks about fauna and a few other things.
Oh yeah, this is a guy who have his dizzy effect.
Yeah.
Looks like the other guy, but it's a little bit smaller. And this skull is loaded for me, and it's very close to an actual skull, and I can get my hands inside it. I'm so happy that I had a chance to come here. I'm getting and from outside now. The lights are loading, and I can see it, and it looks even amazing. It's big, massive structure, really, really big. It have a mix and inspirations from too many themes. I think. How long did it take you? I mean, people always underestimate the amount of effort, the base builders take, the amount of planning it takes them. I know, we had Nirozi last, week. She mentioned close to 40, 60 hours just to build a base, guys. This for some other people, it's just a whole game or even 2 or 3 games. And it's very interesting that there is mechanics in No Man's Sky that make people just forget their lives and just completely, immerse inside the game. So how do you know how long did it take you? Not the actual time it took you to build, but as a project, how long did it take you since you started on thinking?
Yeah, I don't. Well, it was so I didn't do it straight through. I actually, funny enough, I started this base back in October. It was something else at first. I was gonna make this restaurant because I love cooking in this game.
October 2022.
Yeah, I do. It's just something that I like. I like just stepping in the kitchen in this game and just cooking random things. I don't know. It was just like, I don't know if soothing is the word, but it was relaxing, definitely. So one of the early mansions that I built, I just found myself like after doing things in this game, I would be in the kitchen for, the next few hours, just cooking away. So yeah, basically, hold on one second. I think you might have some other things loading in now. I'm not sure if anything else loaded in this classroom for you.
Let's go back to the main hall.
That's the point. So I don't know the exact time that I took to build this, but I did start in October. I took a break for a little bit in November to start building another base, which is actually the Discovery Sky base that I showed you before, that low orbit low orbit base. So that one I ended up working on, I want to say maybe end of October into November. Maybe I'm wrong on that timeline, but then I got back to this, I want to say early January. It has to be around 30 hours, I would say. And it didn't have to be. Because Nirozi does absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, intricate bases. So that's kind of justified to be that long. Me, I just kind of get very I'm very indecisive with what I want to do. I try things. I build just to break it down. I never really come in too sure with how it's going to go and what I'm going to do. So that's why it takes maybe a little longer. But I did work on this pretty consistently from at least, I know I got back into it early January, but I would say the end of January until, just this week, I started working on it pretty hard.
Wow. Such a journey, man. That was a hell of a ride. So,
yeah.
Where are you? Come back to the main hall.
Definitely.
Did you hear a little bit of music? I'm not sure if this
I built?
No. I mean, just now I was hearing a little bit of music. So I'm wondering if I touched something and it made some music, but I think it's just like in-game music.
I'm wondering if I'm playing something because I have all these different devices going right now, and I'm in my headphones. So I wondered if something is playing, but no, I don't think
so. Okay. So originally I planned this to be like 30 minutes. Somehow we managed to make it to 1 hour. I remember we were discussing that we want to be, you're running out of stuff to discuss. Somehow we did it. I think you're a natural, fun person to hang with. Chris, I really want to thank you, man. This is one of the interesting stuff and most beautiful stuff to look out, especially from outside. It gave me these feelings, like, a lot of memory feelings. I was actually richly scared that, I will see my, my high school, professor coming and chasing me down the halls. This actually never happened to me personally, but, it's just, something that I was always worried. It may happen to me one day. The sci-fi feeling, the story behind this, the lighting, the planet, everything is wonderful. It's a masterpiece. It's a wonders that I really, really love. So,
and I'm still, I know a lot of things didn't load for you, which again, this is kind of like the test. This is what I wanted to do. I mean, I had been warned, doing the double base computer thing in a base this big will cause problems. But I think I can kind of get around these problems, and I think if I get you back here for a second visit, we'll be able to get most of the things loaded.
Yeah, we can compare. We can compare that. So and see the difference. But so far in VR, you are in the academy. So Chris, thank you, man. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for all of the time you spent in playing and preparing No Man's Sky, because we are a wonderful icon of the community. Guys, I never had a chance to wrap up probably my show, because every time I get my game crash and using Sony integrations that also crash and stuff like this. So finally I'm gonna say, please, if you are watching this, subscribe and like to my very, very small, tiny channel. So this can encourage me to keep going and hopefully, have more fun. So thank you all. That's it for today. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been so much fun, and good luck to the journey of continuing the stream life. I mean, I hope it goes well. This has been a lot of fun. So thank you.
Thank you. See you guys later, everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.